happy, man.
And you know what? The Nets are making me eat my words.
The Nets making some big moves.
Making some big moves right now.
Big moves by the New Jersey. Oh, can't say that anymore.
No, it's
by
Brooklyn.
the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets. BK, baby.
That is aggravating.
BK.
Wow.
They decided to get a good team together once they moved to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Thanks, Miguel Prokhorov. Thanks, Jay-Z, for sucking in New Jersey. Thank you so much for bringing a crappy team.
Do you think they purposely sucked so that Nets fans in Jersey cared less about them moving?
I would say yes. That makes sense. Why are you going to put a competitive team on the floor and then move them? Makes no sense. When did the Seattle Supersonics leave? When they were the worst team almost ever in the NBA. Right?
Valid point.
And now where are they? They're in Western Conference gloriness right now. I couldn't think of another word.
That works for me. It's not a bad way. But yeah, the Nets are making moves, dude. I mean, let's seriously look at things here. All right, they already I mean, no signings are official until July 11th.
Okay.
But the contracts can be agreed upon. So you have, let's see.
So you got the Nets giving a 4-year deal
to Gerald Wallace
for $40 million.
Then they're aiming to re-sign
Darren
Williams, and then possibly trading for Dwight Howard.
And I'm also hearing today too, they're looking to trade for Joe Johnson.
Yes.
Now I wonder if they're only interested in Joe Johnson if they can't get Darren Williams, or if this is their whole big kit and caboodle thing where they're just looking to make a whole big dominant team right now. And you know what? I know they have the money to do it. And Dwight Howard only wants to go to one team, and that is the Brooklyn Nets.
You know what's crazy to me? The Nets are sitting there saying to themselves, well, if we want to win anything, we got to compete with
Miami. You have to. That is the way you need to look at it.
That's your pedestal. How can we beat this team in a 7-game series?
Well, all right, maybe one step at a time. Because first, they at least have to make it to the playoffs. That's step one, making it to the playoffs. How can we get ourselves there?
I understand that, but if you get Gerald Wallace, Joe Johnson, Darren Williams, and Dwight Howard as 4 of your starting 5 guys, plug in your fourth guy as, you know, a good defender and a good rebounder, and then all of a sudden you're looking at a competitive championship caliber team really quick. With Avery Johnson as head coach. I love Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson's a good coach, man.
Pixel Junkie, I feel exactly the same way for you. I hate the Miami Heat, so I'm rooting for any team to destroy them as well. But my Bulls, most likely, I think are probably looking at more like a 3rd or a 4th seed this year.
I don't even know about that, man.
I got faith in Tibbs, man.
If the Nets can pull off all these moves, let's just assume that they're going to get Darren Williams. They're signing Gerald Wallace. Let's say they trade for Dwight in some way, somehow, shape, or form, trade for Joe Johnson. Okay? You got those 4 guys. I got the Nets better than your Bulls. I got the Knicks better than your Bulls. Possibly the Celtics better. Indiana might be better. Your Bulls might not even make the playoffs this year,
They'll definitely, dude. You get into the playoffs at under 500 in the Eastern Conference. No matter what, they'll make the playoffs.
Eastern Conference bulking back up, man.
He's still under 500. They're still top heavy. I mean, think about it. Once you get past, you got maybe Boston. They re-signed KG, which was huge. Gave him a 3-year, $30 million
deal, bro. Yeah, that was huge. I'm sure Miss Paul Babak was very happy about that.
She was so amped, dude. She was so amped. It wasn't even funny. She wouldn't stop talking about him for like a half hour. I'm like, dude, shut up. He doesn't like you. I love Paula. I do. Paula's awesome. But yeah, KG, that was huge. I think one of the other reasons they bring him in is to help out with Jared Sullinger and Fab Melo. Say, look, dude, we expect you to help, you know, teach these guys the right ways to play the game and how to turn into what's going to end up being a 19-year veteran before he ends up retiring. You know, I think that was a great move by the Celtics.
Definitely, without a doubt.
Now the big question, of course, is Sir Ray, who is
where does Ray Allen go?
It's like a chase for this guy right now.
Dude, I've never seen so many people going nuts after a 36-year-old shooting guard who's blatantly past his prime, who's probably getting surgery in the offseason. Never seen so many people into him. Really? He's not going to give you squat defensively.
No, he's not, but he can come in and hit some clutch shots for you. He's got the energy to chase around other jump shooters. You know, he's not going to play a guy that can take you off the dribble, but if he's running around and playing a guy that does the same stuff he does, he's good. He can chase them all day long. The guy's agility's through the freaking roof, and his endurance is unbelievable. So I get why teams want him, but I also think that
now if you're Ray,
you might overpay for him a little bit.
Yeah, I heard the Grizzlies are really interested in Ray. They have a full mid-level exception at $5 million, so they would give that to him. You have Miami offering him a mid-level exception for $3 million. I know the Celtics want him. I mean, man, it must be good being Ray Allen right now. Shoot, that is awesome. You got all these teams wanting you. But where do you think he's actually going to end up going?
I think, to me, it's either Miami or Boston. In my opinion, that's where he goes. Miami or Boston. He wants to go somewhere where he believes he can win a championship. And that's most likely Miami. And if he can't go there, I think he'd rather be with KG and Pierce and finish his career with Doc and Rondo and keep that crew together for a couple more years before it's all said and done.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I really agree with Pixel Junkie in our chat room. If Ray Allen goes to the Miami Heat, he considers Ray Allen a sellout. So do I.
You know what? A lot of people feel like that, and I can't blame them. You know what?
And same with Steve Nash. If Steve Nash goes to the Miami Heat, I consider him a sellout.
Oh, see, Steve Nash, to me, it's completely different. The man, he's the only player in NBA history to win 2 MVP awards and never even play in an NBA Finals game. Never even play in an NBA Finals game.
If you sign with Miami, no matter who you are, it's a sellout.
See, to me, at this point, Nash to me would fall under the category of the seasoned vet just trying to find a way to get a ring before he walks away. Because Nash is considered retirement for the past 2 years.
That's very true. And Toronto right now has a 3-year offer to Steve Nash, which is pretty crazy. That's actually a good thing. It might be just a marketing thing by the Raptors because
he's Canadian.
He's a Canadian.
Oh,
Canada. He's Canadian. So it would actually bring some people into the arena.
You know their only sellout this year was when Jeremy Lin came in the Knicks?
That's terrible.
And he hit the buzzer beater to beat him.
That's nuts.
It was nuts. They erupted like they were playing in New York. It was hysterical to me. I felt so bad for Raptors fans. Like, if I'm the Raptor owner, I'm not even watching the game. Like, I can't even handle this. It would drive me insane. So I just had to...
Nah, it's cool. Pick's also right. You know, he hopes that Nash goes to the Knicks because he's a better fit, and since his summer home's in Manhattan, well, you got to think about this, Pixel. If Darren Williams goes to Dallas, where Darren Williams is saying that, you know, it's coming between the Nets or the Mavericks. If Darren Williams ends up going to Dallas, Nets have money. Nets might make a move on Nash.
Nets might make a move on Nash. The Nets also contacted Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy Lin?
There's a chance they make a move on him. Look, there's a lot. You got that all going on. Joey mentioned what the Heat and Grizzlies also offered Ray Allen. We mentioned what Nash got offered from the Raptors. The Nets Hawks talking Joe Johnson trade, which would be crazy.
Dude, I like this. I like all the craziness going on right now in like the NBA offseason. Best
free agent you can get right now, in my opinion?
Yeah. Who?
Roy Hibbert.
Roy Hibbert, man. And he's going to Portland, it looks like, unless Indiana can match the offer, correct?
Yes. If they can't match the offer, which I don't know if they're going to.
Well, I don't think they're going to because they're giving them max money.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to for the fact that they got other guys on that team they got to pay, and sooner or later you just got to...
You got to cut your ties with somebody.
You can't keep everyone. And that's why we love sports for that one of those reasons. But what do you call it? Oh, sorry, I'm reading draft. I'm like, wait. But Roy Hibbert gets offered 4 years, $58 million from Portland. Portland taking another chance with a big guy. The crazy thing to me is though, all of a sudden Portland signs him, and you get two of the best guys over 6'10" on the same team. Roy Hibbert and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh my goodness.
LaMarcus Aldridge is a big man that can play anywhere he wants to.
Yeah.
If he wants to shoot threes all day, he can shoot threes.
He's like a Bron type, where he's a versatile player.
He can do whatever he wants. He's a freak of nature. He's a hell of an athlete, really talented basketball player. So I think you put those two together, all of a sudden you're looking at this Portland team like, all right, well, maybe now it's your turn to hop in. Question from Pixel Junkie. Was Griffin signing a 5-year extension a big mistake instead of testing the market? I don't think it was, for the simple fact that he seems right in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he does.
And you know what? It's time the Clippers aren't the JV team of the Lakers. And it actually could be perfect timing, because he could start helping rise the Lakers, the Clippers, fan base and all that, while Kobe and the Lakers slowly start to deteriorate, because it seems like that's the path they're on right now anyway. I actually think Griffin signing and staying in LA with the Clippers was a great idea. I really do, because the poor Clippers lose everybody.
Yeah,
so why not stay, dude? Why not say, look, I want to start a trend here. I want everybody to stay in LA with the Clippers.
Hopefully that will start a good trend for them, especially if they can. And now that you have Blake Griffin, you could say, hey, CP3, we have Blake Griffin with you for the next 5 years. That's a good selling point to him, considering that you don't know what CP3 is going to do after this year. Right? Because they have him for one more year?
He had the Dwight Howard situation.
Gotcha.
Where it was an option.
Yeah.
And I believe he opted to keep it, but I don't know for sure. Our buddy Marty hasn't been we haven't seen him in a while, so, but when we see him, I'll make sure to mention that to him and be like, hey, do we know if Chris Paul signed or if he's staying? What's the deal with that? But I do think he's got one more year with them, and I think he's going to end up staying. I think he had fun playing with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and all those guys.
And especially since he brought them from the bottom of the league to second round of the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen next year. You give them a couple more weapons, we'll see what happens.
Chris Paul, baby. CP3 will head to New York City only if the Knicks clear cap space.
And what cap space are they clearing?
The Knicks have no...
They have Amare's for the next, 4 years? They
4
have
years.
Carmelo for the next, 5, 6 years? Tyson Chandler for the next couple years?
They
all
don't
their
have
cap is in those 3 players.
No way. No way. I mean, Pixel, I know what you're saying. I think he would go there too if he could. Pixel's like, I say dump him. That's look, I'd have no issue with you losing one of the two personally, but at the same time, you don't need to. CP3 and Amari running pick and roll would be sick. CP3 kicking it out to Melo would be sick. I don't really care. I think CP3 is just a beast, and I just like watching him play basketball.
I do too.
Either which way, it doesn't really matter. I think we're going to hop into another break, Joe.
Sounds good.
We've been going for about 20. So we're going to come back. We'll talk a little more. We'll talk a little NHL.
And also, we might be able to have some fun with the Team USA's lineup, dude. We might be able to have a lot of fun to see what kind of starting 5 they put out there.
That's true.
There's so many different ways that they can go.
That is true. That's something we might have to look into for maybe a little later in the week.